And we now bring in the head basketball coach at Louisville, Chris Mack, who joins us on the phone. Coach, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Back in February against Duke, very close game for you guys against the Blue Devils. Zion Williamson in that game, 27 and 12. R.J. Barrett went for 13. How do you see each of these guys at the NBA level?
Well, first of all, thank you for bringing up maybe the worst loss in the history
so sorry.
of my coaching career.
Please don't hang up. Please don't hang up.
They're terrific players, and what was incredibly impressive was they were Duke's leaders. And that you don't always see that. You might see the best players on a particular team be freshmen, especially in this day and age. But usually you have some veterans surrounding those guys, even if they're not as talented. And Zion just was as impressive as his athletic ability and basketball skill was. His mentality, his ability to sustain his effort, and his leadership qualities were every bit as impressive as all those other things I just talked about. Those guys are special, and the NBA is going to certainly benefit from having their ability in that league.
Coach, I know that those two are the ones that we're talking about consistently, the two better players in the draft, but are there any dark horses that you see going into to next season? I mean, a player like Kobe White, I feel like he hasn't gotten as much in the conversation, but he's such an explosive scorer. I want to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Well, he's definitely an explosive scorer. I think earlier in the year, he had quite a bit of development as the year went on. I thought in the beginning of the year, he was really up and down. There were several games that we watched on tape where, while he was scoring the ball, he was bobbling it and turning it over at a very high rate at the same time, which isn't something you want out of your point guard. But as the year progressed, his ability to push the ball, make the decisions that he made, at the same time score at the rate he did was truly impressive. But I think Jackson Hayes, who we recruited out of high school when I was at Xavier, a local kid out of Cincinnati, has come so far, so fast, and although he physically may be a little bit behind simply because he has to fill out, if you've met his dad before, who played in the NFL for a long time, Jonathan Hayes, you know that's not too far behind in terms of Jackson. And when his body fills out, his length, his athleticism, his defensive timing, I think is going to be something special for years to come in the league.
Well, he shot up, a foot from his freshman to his senior year of high school, right?
He did. As a junior, you wouldn't even have looked at him twice. I mean, he was a guy that averaged 1 point a game as a junior in high school, not college, but high school. And, over the summer between his junior year and senior year, and everybody was saying, hey, you should recruit him. I had a tough time in the beginning, so he averaged 1 point a game. He doesn't know how to play. So to think about the progress he's made in 2 short years is incredible.
Coach, you obviously are very familiar with the ACC. We talk about RJ, Zion, Kobe, DeAndre Hunter is up there in terms of guys that will be a lottery pick. What is it about the level of competition in the ACC that you think equips these young men to take it to the next level and compete?
Well, first and foremost, it's always been a basketball league. And I think, certainly it's had blue blood powers over the years, Duke, Carolina, Syracuse. To see what Tony's done at Virginia over the last several years, the league's always had just an impressive top of the standings talent level, and not to mention Hall of Fame coaching. And I think when this league expanded years ago, you got many different styles, and whether a team was battling for first place or in the middle of the standings or towards the bottom, there are always one or two players on that team that could win on a given night just because they went off. And so you're always going to be challenged every single night, no matter who you play. I think players coming out of high school that are able to play at this level want to play in the ACC because they know that they're going to be tested nightly and, have a chance to impress people to play on this platform. So it's, like I said, it's been a basketball league for as long as I can remember, and that certainly has never changed.
It is a fantastic league. One of your players, Coach, Jordan Nwora, we saw you at the Combine last week. Know he's trying to evaluate whether he should go to the next level. How are you supporting him in that? I mean, what are you kind of thinking through that process?
Well, the only reason I was at the Combine is because I was hoping to be one of the invites. And although I'm 49 years old, I can still shoot the corner three. But it wasn't.
You never lose your shot.
The defense, on the other hand, that would be a major problem. No, I just want the best for all of our players, whether it's a guy that's, looking to go in the draft or trying to get feedback, or whether it's simply a freshman going into a sophomore year. I just want the best for our guys. Everybody that signs up to play at Louisville has aspirations to play professionally. And I think, Jordan had a terrific year. He was voted ACC Most Improved Player. He was third-team All-Conference, and really did that, coming out of nowhere after just what he would probably consider a subpar freshman year. So, my job is to support his dream. And at the same time, I think his job is to gather the feedback that gives him the ability to make the most intelligent decision that he can. And there are a million different factors, but the one thing I'll tell you is, Jordan is a great kid. He's incredibly intelligent. I feel for him because he wasn't able to actually perform at the Combine, so I don't think that certainly helped his chances. But he'll have an opportunity to do a pro day for Bill Duffy, who is his agent at this point, and hopefully gain the necessary feedback to make the best decision he can.
Coach, big picture for you guys. Your first year last season, you go 20-14. You make the NCAA tournament. How do you see things progressing next season?
Well, I'd like to think that we continue the momentum. We continue to get better. I think when, our staff took over here, there were a lot of question marks, certainly from the outside. I think we were picked 11th in the conference. I don't think there was anybody that had us as a tournament team. And, after working out with our players for a few weeks in the spring last year at this time, I really felt, well, although we weren't the most experienced team, we were talented enough to be a tournament team, and we ended up doing just that. Now, we didn't finish the season the way we wanted to. We probably weren't as deep of a team as we needed to be. But going into this season with 13 scholarship players, a tremendous freshman class, experience that understands, what our staff and standards are all about, leads me to believe that we're going to continue to get better.
Chris, we'll leave it there. Can't thank you enough for joining us. Best of luck to your program and have a great summer.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.